What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Starting the week off strong with the topic, how NoFap changed my entire life. Now, specifically in this video, I'm going to do a deep dive into how NoFap benefited me, number one, mentally, number two, physically, number three, spiritually, and number four, financially. All right, I'm going to touch on every single one of these aspects of my life. Now, a lot of people think that beating your meat or jacking off is not that big of a deal. A lot of people will say, oh, relax, come on, it's just natural. You know, it's something that everybody needs to do. You've got to get some release, man. I personally have thought this at one point in my life. And looking back on it, it is clearly cope, all right? Once you do a deep dive into how fapping overall impacts every single one of these aspects of your life, you realize that it is overwhelmingly negative. Now, you might be asking, Brandon, are you referring to fapping with or without porn? That's a really common question that I get asked when I deal with this topic. And the answer is both of them ultimately end up negatively impacting you in the same way in all of these aspects. However, adding porn into the equation makes things much more intense, much more addictive, and much more degenerate. Okay, so overall, fapping, bad. When you add porn into the mix, double bad, triple bad, quadruple bad, maybe even 10, 20x as bad. Porn is something that is undermining your relationships with women. It is making you see them as magical creatures that are meant to sexually fulfill you. It's giving you unrealistic expectations of what women's bodies look like. And ultimately, as you continue to get deeper into it, you realize that it continues to devolve into being more intense and more degenerate. So porn speeds up the process. It makes all of that so much worse. But let's get into these points. How fapping ultimately affects your life negatively and why NoFap changed the entire course of my life. Number one, the mental effects of fapping. Ultimately, it makes you weaker. It steals your life force, your energy. Your sexual energy can be used to accomplish great things in life. And ultimately, fapping drains your mental energy and it undermines your willpower at the same time. Notice that it is far less likely that you will approach or pursue attractive women after you have fapped, because you have less energy, and it means that you are less likely to work hard. Even at work, even at your job, you're going to be putting in less effort. It's going to make you more lethargic, and it makes you want to go to bed. A lot of people even use it as a way to get to sleep every single night. I was talking to somebody about that the other day. They said, Brandon, I legitimately can't go to bed without it. You need to develop a different sleep routine. You need to start calming down an hour before bed. You need to start dimming the lights. You need to start speaking quietly, getting your heart rate to lower, wearing blue light blocking glasses, things along these lines. Don't rely on having to get sexual fulfillment in order for you to fall asleep every single night. Ultimately, you'll notice that life seems a lot less colorful. It's almost like you're seeing life in black and white when you're incredibly addicted to porn or when you are fapping extremely regularly. You'll notice that ultimately you enjoy your life less. And I want you to enjoy your life as much as possible. I want you to see the beauty behind sobriety. I want you to see the beauty in the mundane. I don't want you to be chained up. I don't want you to be a slave to your desires. And when you desexualize your brain, you all of a sudden start seeing life through a new lens. Everything becomes more vibrant. It's almost like you turn up the saturation. Number two, the effect that it has on you physically. It gives you less energy. It sucks away your drive to accomplish great things. NoFap doesn't just improve mental energy, it has a profound effect on your physical energy as well. And that's why working out is so powerful, is because it's a positive habit that you can get dopamine from, but at the same time, you are working for it. You have to go do something. You have to exert yourself. Don't let yourself get your dopamine for free. It is one of the worst things that you can do. I feel like I have so much more control of my body when I am doing NoFap. It elevates my confidence. Other people can see this boost in confidence, even if you yourself don't notice it. Over time, you will start to notice it and you'll be able to see it for yourself. But right now, I just want you to know other people notice. That confidence that you have when you walk into a room, when you are somebody that does not seek instant gratification, when you are somebody that does not rely on having to pleasure yourself without putting work in, when you become that person, your confidence soars. It skyrockets. Your self-belief goes through the roof. Number 3, how fapping affects you spiritually. It puts a rift between you and your creator. And this is the most important point of all 4. You start to worship women's bodies instead of worshiping your God. I have never met a man that was proud of fapping or proud of him watching porn. It's something that most men feel shame about. Most men feel guilt. And deep down, we all know that it's not good for us, even if that guilt is long gone. Even if you've been doing it for so long, even if you've been watching porn for so long to the point where you're numb and you just do it and you feel morally totally fine because you've been doing it for years. We all started with this base level shame and guilt doing it for the first time. Our quest for gratification with no hardship is ultimately us reaching for the Garden of Eden, forgetting that we were ultimately banished from the garden. We don't belong there anymore. We want to fill that gap in our life. We want to feel complete. But at the end of the day, a man's greatest form of satisfaction comes from pursuing his duty, his purpose, and his God. You will feel your actions drive a wedge between you and these things that I talk about, duty, purpose, and your creator. And one thing that I really want you to understand is that there is no better feeling than feeling like you are in God's favor. Like you are right where God ultimately wants you to be. I personally hunt for God's favor. I pursue it. I long to be in alignment with my creator. And if you don't know what it feels like, when I say that, if it doesn't register to you, you're like, what does that mean? To like feel like you're in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing, with your calling, with your God, with your duty and your purpose, then I need you to chase that. That's something I need you to pursue like you're on fire. It ultimately will change your life and it will make your life feel a lot more worth living. A lot of people struggle with depression, anxiety. They struggle with meaninglessness. I mean, just go look at the statistics of how many men commit suicide, even though we live in a society that's comfortable. This is the solution to that. It's having this spiritual connection with your God. It's feeling like you are on your purpose, on your mission. Not these quick dopamine hits, not getting gratification without work. That's not how it's supposed to be. When man fell, man was cursed. Now you must work in order to see the fruits of your labor. You cannot go and take what is not yours. And number 4, how fapping affects you financially. All right, people ask me, Brandon, how did you become a millionaire in your 20s? And ultimately, I would be nowhere compared to where I am right now if I let my cock lead the way in my life. if I let my cock make the decisions, most men are significantly held back. Even those that are successful would be in a much more accomplished state than they are currently if they had more control over this aspect of their life. I personally look back and think this exact same thing. I think, wow, I would have been so much more successful. I would have been able to make more money at a young age. I would have been able to build businesses at a more rapid rate. I would have had better relationships if ultimately I had more control over this. Most men waste days, months, years of their life chasing women, and ultimately fapping makes you overall so much less productive. It's negatively impacting your mental energy, your physical energy, your willpower, while also simultaneously sabotaging you spiritually, throwing you off from feeling like you are in alignment with your purpose, with your goal, with your relationship with your Creator. Now, if you really struggle to break free of these temptations, make sure you guys go watch my video on how to desexualize your brain. Okay, now these were my opinions on NoFap and why I think that you should practice it, but there are a lot more components that you have to implement if you are ultimately going to be successful with this. So go check out that video. Make sure to drop a like down below. Make sure that you drop a comment down below with a singular thumbs up if you guys watched all the way to the end of the video, because it means that you don't have the attention span of a goldfish and you're probably here to learn. And as long as you implement these things, hopefully they will dramatically impact your life. I will see you guys all in the next one. Thanks for watching.